Happy today, manifestors. Hope you're well and in the midst of seeing May manifest. Whatever you've been speaking, whatever you've been writing, whatever you have been believing, and that is the key. What is it that you have been believing? I'm glad to have a quick connection with you today, and we're going to focus on giving yourself permission to walk in your greatness the right way. Giving yourself permission to be all that you are designed to be, but making sure that as you give yourself permission, you truly understand that it is tied to and that it is connected to your beliefs. So I send you manifesting magic. I'm asking you, go ahead and as you come in, whether it is live or whether it is on the replay, send me some manifesting magic. Send me some hearts, some thumbs up, some of those little huggy thingamadoos, whatever they call them. Go ahead and send them to me. Send them to each other. Let your energy, your presence be felt. Yes, throughout our conversation and throughout the world. I welcome your feedback. I welcome your questions, comments. I welcome you letting me know you're here. You hear me. You get it, or you ain't quite understanding what I'm putting down. If I'm putting it down and you picking it up, let me know. But if I'm putting it down and it's too heavy, or you can't quite get a grasp on how to pick it up, let me know. I'm glad to clarify. I'm glad to explain. I'm glad to shed any type of light that would illuminate how you best use your power and create what you desire for your life in any area or in every area of your existence. Specifically today, we're talking about giving yourself permission to walk in your greatness the right way. So if you know of someone who this connection can be a benefit to, won't you go ahead and send this to them in their inbox? Won't you go ahead and tag them or share it in a group that you manage? The more of us that understand and use our manifesting power, the more we're able to create an environment that makes it more conducive for us to walk in peace and for us to walk in prosperity. And the more we experience peace and prosperity. So yes, share it on your page, share it in your group, share it wherever. You know that beloved or beloved, yes, beloved. You know that above or below this video is a badge that says become a supporter, become a subscriber. For those of you who already have, I want you to know that I appreciate you immensely. Thank you for your support. Thank you for showing your acts of kindness to me as I do this amazing work. If you have not yet become a supporter / subscriber, click the button, do it today. And I appreciate you immensely. I want to say a specific thank you to Pamela Hinton Robinson, who most recently became a subscriber. If you became one anonymously, I can't see you, but I want you to know that I appreciate you. If you became one, y'all, sometimes there's a delay in them showing who has actually become a supporter or a subscriber. But even if I don't call your name, I want you to know that I appreciate every dollar and every dime that you share with me for my work. And I want you to know that I speak blessings over you. I pray for you. Yes, I call your name when I am praying and when I'm speaking blessings and manifesting for those who support me. So today we are specifically talking about you giving yourself permission, you creating the foundational belief system that allows you to walk in your greatness, and you doing it the right way, right? So a belief, you all, is just a thought that you keep thinking over and over again. A belief is just a thought that you keep thinking over and over again. Listen, doesn't matter if it's true or false, doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, doesn't matter if it's beneficial or detrimental. What you think over and over and over again becomes a part of your belief system. And that which is a part of your belief system, it governs what you manifest. It governs your actions. It governs the decisions that you make. So then, if you truly are not walking in your greatness, then it's time for you to ask yourself, have I given myself permission, and have I created the belief system that allows me to do exactly that? There are so many people who are saying you gotta value yourself. You gotta treat yourself like you're worthy. You have to, you fill in the blank, all of the things that people say as it relates to you loving you and you valuing you. But the truth is, if you've never been taught how to give yourself permission to walk in your greatness, if you've never been taught how to value yourself, if you've never been taught, right, how to truly use your gifts and your talents unabashedly, like without hiding it, like out loud, then you do what you've seen other people do. You do what you've been told to do, or you do absolutely nothing but keep talking about it and wishing for it. So many people live beneath the promises because they're not walking in their greatness as it relates to the gifts and the talents that they do have. So many people accept less than what they desire and less than what they deserve, because too often we have been told to be humble. Too often we have been told not to brag on ourselves, not to boast. Too often we have been told the opposite of what will help our souls to prosper. And many times we're not walking in our greatness. Our souls aren't prospering because we're burying our gifts and our talents instead of living them and using them out loud. Now, be clear. We're going to have a conversation about this. Matter of fact, I probably need to write that down. There's a difference between using your gifts and talents and living your gifts and talents. And when you truly get to the point where you're both using them and living them, that's when you're truly walking in your greatness. But until you give yourself permission to do that, y'all, you will remain right where you are, and you'll have small incremental increases, and you'll see small incremental changes, and you'll see small incremental blessings, both tangible and intangible. And if that's okay with you, then stay that way. But if you really know that you desire and you deserve more, especially when you use your gifts and your talents to impact the lives of others, then walking in your greatness and giving yourself permission to walk in your greatness it's essential. And so you are worthy, right? So many people say you've got to see yourself as worthy. You've got to see yourself as valuable. Well, if currently your belief system says they don't honor my gifts, if you keep saying that, then that's the belief that is embedded in your subconscious. So then we have to clear that out. But you know what happens when something is swept clean? You got to fill it up with something that serves you and honors you, or what you just cast out is going to come back multiplied. So I am worthy. It's not enough to just say that is so good, that is so true to whoever is saying it. It's not enough to say amen, that's right to the preacher. We've then got to take what we have identified with. We have then got to take what we have said we believe, and we've got to implant it into our subconscious mind. Why? Y'all hear me say again and again, the subconscious mind is what drives your behavior. So what's currently driving your behavior, if you're not acting as if you're worthy, if you're not able to quote your prices at full tilt, right? If you're not getting in response what you believe is a match to what you're putting out, then it's time to consider if your belief system is what's causing to throttle your blessings or throttle your greatness or throttle your expansion. So then it's not enough to say, amen, that's right, she telling the truth, he said a good word. What we now have to do is, if I want to walk more profoundly, more consistently, and more courageously in my passion and my purpose and my gifts and talents, then I have to begin every single day. A belief is just a thought you think over and over and over again. Then I have to consistently every single day speak, I am worthy. Think, I am worthy. Write, I am worthy. If you're in my Mindset Management and Manifesting with Mercedes group, one of the affirmations, declarations that cycles around is I am worthy. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of support. I am worthy of compensation. I am worthy of, you fill in the blank of what you believe you're worthy of. But saying it one time does not change your belief. What changes your belief is to turn your timer to 3 minutes and repeat it over and over again. What changes your belief is to get you a piece of paper and a pen or whatever your favorite writing utensil is, and write it 10 times every day, 20 times every day, 100 times every single day. What changes your belief is for you to identify why you are worthy. So you speak it, you think it, you write it over and over and over again until it becomes true and until you act like it. But you also, y'all, have to identify what are you worthy of, right? So you can say I am worthy, but once you have shifted your belief, giving yourself permission to walk in your greatness, and this is how you're giving yourself permission. You're giving yourself permission by retraining your mind. You're giving yourself permission by reprogramming your mind. So what is it that you're worthy of? If you work on a job and you believe that you are worthy of higher compensation, then you have to start to speak that every day. Think that every day. Write that every day. I am worthy of higher compensation. I am worthy of more money. I am worthy of, for those of you who need a script to go with it, the script says a workman is worthy of his hire. And so if you believe your current hire, whether you're employee or entrepreneur, if you believe you deserve more, then you have got to start implanting it into your subconscious mind so that it doesn't just come to the forefront when you get ticked off when that direct deposit comes through, so that it doesn't just come to the forefront when you're offering your goods and services and you send a proposal and they say, well, we don't really want to pay that much. Listen to me. When you identify that you are worthy, when you shift your conscious and your subconscious mind to your worthiness, then you identify and articulate what specifically it is that you're worthy of. Then that is the energy you start to emit. And then that is what starts to come back to you. Remember, y'all, we sow in thought, in word, in deed. That is internally and that is externally. That is in your heart, mind, and spirit. And that is into the ethers, into the atmosphere. So then, are you worthy of more compensation? Are you worthy of more love? Are you worthy of more support? You have to identify what it is you need more of in order to walk in your greatness. If it has absolutely nothing to do with externally what you need from others, and it has everything to do with what's going on inside of you, then that's where you have to focus your efforts for your beliefs and for your thoughts. So then if you need more courage to walk in your greatness, then what do? You begin to think, you begin to speak, begin to write. I quote my prices with courage. I receive love when I am offered love. I gladly receive money, support, and compensation. I am so happy and thankful now that whatsoever it is that you desire, tangible or intangible, monetary or physical, that is what you focus your affirmations, your declarations, your speaking, your thinking on, so that it transforms your mind. Giving yourself permission to walk in your greatness doesn't mean that you change other people's minds, doesn't mean that you convince other people. It means first that you focus on transforming your own mind. It means first that you work on convincing yourself. It means first that you fortify your heart, your mind, your spirit to truly be parallel with what you believe is promised for your life, so that you can receive that for your life. If you value your gifts and your talents, then begin to speak that. If you want the broader public to value your gifts and talents, then you have to first value your own, which means you speak about, you think about, you write about. I value my own gifts and talents. That means you perform at the highest possible level every time. That means if somebody's paying you, compensating you for using your gifts and talents, you give the best you can possibly get. That means you actually have to open up your mouth and tell people about your gifts and talents. I know the word says your gifts will make room for you and bring you before great men. But how else will somebody know you have a gift and talent unless you're using it? How else will somebody know you have a gift and talent unless you're telling people? Which means this whole notion of, and it's the energy behind it. I get that. It's the vibration that comes from here, right? And here that fuels it. But how else will people know that you have a gift and a talent unless you're opening up your mouth to say it? How else will people know that you have gifts and talents to even value it if you're not using it? If you bury it, you lose it. If you bury it, it is not as keen, as sharp, as impactful than if you use it, that if you put it in the forefront, that if you allow it to be seen, then if you allow it to propel you to where you desire to be. Too often, we're looking for somebody else who possibly knows that we have a gift and a talent to open the door and give us the opportunity. But by and large, you all, if you give yourself permission to walk in your greatness the right way, if you give yourself permission to change your own mind about your own worthiness, if you give yourself permission to value and prop up and put on Front Street your gifts and your talents, then that's when you will see your life changed because of your worthiness and your gifts and your talents. That's when you will begin to see your power drawing to you the types of opportunities that you want and you believe can make a huge impact on yourself as well as on other people. But you've got to first give yourself permission to walk in your greatness. You have first got to give yourself permission to use your gifts and talents and to stand in your worthiness, right? To stand in your great value in order that you can benefit first and then others benefit. I know we've been told we're supposed to give and we're supposed to sow, but be clear, if we're going to give from the overflow, then we've got to fill up our cups first. Fill up our cups first. If we're going to walk honestly towards them that are without and have lack of nothing, that's in the script. Check 1 Thessalonians. If we're going to walk honestly towards them that are without and we're going to have lack of nothing, then what we have to do is give ourselves permission to walk in our greatness, that we benefit from our greatness, and then we share it with those who can also benefit. You all, you hear me say repeatedly that everything you have is everything you need to get everything that you want. And by and large, what you have power in is the power of your thoughts. So shift your beliefs to know that you are worthy. By and large, what you have the power to do is to speak. So first speak, giving yourself permission to value your gifts and talents, so that as you shift your mind and as your mind drives your behavior, you do the things necessary that help you create what you desire in this life, that help you manifest what's already been promised to each and every one of us, simply because we came to the planet. Each and every one of us, right? We're given a measure of faith. But the great blessing is we can increase our faith. We can increase our power. We can increase our ability to see, may manifest everything that we want to live and experience. But first, we got to make a commitment that we're going to examine what it is that we believe. And if it does not serve us, we're going to reprogram our own minds. We're going to shift our own thinking. We're going to give ourselves permission to walk in our greatness, and we're going to do it the right way. If this is your first time joining me, I'm Mercedes, and you're manifesting with Mercedes. If you'd like to know more about how I help people, go to manifestmoreresults.com. If you'd like to become a part of my 365 program, where I teach all year long how you can understand your power better to manifest what you desire and manifest what you deserve. I put a link to information about that connection in the comments section. Again, thank you to those who have become subscribers or supporters. To those of you who are thinking about it, take action today. Know that I appreciate you immensely. I love you. And be clear, you have the power to create your existence. Do it today. Do it intentionally. Do it tomorrow. Do it deliberately. And as long as you walk the face of this earth, make it your constant decision to use your power and to walk in your greatness, because you can. Go manifest. I am.